Namaskaram everyone. Namaskaram Vivek. Thank you for joining in. I'll add you to the stream in a couple of minutes, maybe more than a couple of minutes. I'll do my rant first and then I'll invite you on screen. Namaskaram everyone else. We have a guest today, but let me set up this mic. I hope I'm audible. Namaskaram, namaskaram. If you guys could please confirm if I'm audible. Namaskaram. Welcome all the new members. Thank you so much for memberships. Gopi Krishna ji, Raghuvir ji. Thank you. White Fang says, I play flute too. I don't know if it's the bansuri or any other kind of flute, but if it is the bansuri or any other kind of flute, maybe you can join us on screen later sometime at the end of the stream. Kabir ji, namaskaram. Nandini ji, namaskaram. Pavan ji. Lee Kim, namaskaram. Raji Kumar, avargale, namaskaram. Namaskaram, namaskaram. Hold on. Boglarka, how is it pronounced? Bolyarka? I'm not sure, but they say I'm not sure what I've been invited to, but I'm intrigued. Well, there is a set of slides that I've prepared on what the topics for today are. So before we get into that, firstly, wish you all a very, very, very happy onset of Shyamala Navaratris. So on 26th is Vasanta Panchami, and these starting from today, the next 9 nights are called as Navaratris of Goddess Shyamala. We had done a separate live stream on who Goddess Shyamala is, what is her significance, what does she personify, and we did Shyamala Dandakam composed by Kalidasa in both English translations and Telugu translations. Hindi will be coming up soon. Nepali, Banas ji is doing such a wonderful job of translating them into Nepali, so that is going to come after Hindi. And eventually other languages as well, depending on, some people have volunteered. If you guys are here, thank you so much for volunteering to translate it into Bengali, into Tamil, into Kannada. So the translation work is going on. It looks like it'll take some time. But before 26th, which is Vasanta Panchami, Saraswati Puja of Goddess Shyamala as well, we'll have Hindi translation for sure. So once again, wish you all a very, very happy onset of Shyamala Navaratris. And today is one of the most significant days for me also. I'm doing a little bit of a change in terms of, not a change, I'd say stepping into new territory. As you see there, stepping into Sangita Shastra. Among the works of literature that are available in Sanskrit, the diversity of topics that have been covered is mind-boggling. From basic mathematics, Ganita Shastra, to Vastu, to Tantra, Jyotisha, Ayurveda, Sangita, Natya, every kind of human pursuit has found profound explorations in Sanskrit language. And getting into any of those aspects, be it Ayurveda, be it Jyotisha, be it Vyakarana, be it Tantra, or yoga, stepping into any of those theoretically and without having at least some foothold, without some practical background. I mean, people have done that. There are scholars who are theoretical in Natya who just give talks about musicologists. There are Indologists from foreign countries. There are all sorts of logists who have a lot of theoretical background, but no personal practical exposure to those. So stepping into Sangita Shastra, I want to explore everything there is in Sanskrit language. So stepping into Sangita Shastra without having any foothold in Sangita practically is pointless, I feel. So today I want to kind of kickstart a practice that I have been picking up, letting go, picking up, letting go for almost the last, I don't know how many years, more than half a decade. Um, so I'm hoping with the help of my very, very, very skilled friend, my guide, my student also, dear friend, I would just call him. He is very accomplished in this art form that I wanted to pick up, which by now, no surprise, is to be able to play the bansuri. Many names for it again, based on Carnatic, Hindustani, Venu it is called. But there are slight differences, nuances that have gotten on with time. So he will be helping me with the practice aspect of it. And at the same time, he's very, very skilled and very profoundly knowledgeable in the theoretical aspect of it too. But I don't think, hopefully, not too theoretical with respects to these Sangita Shastra texts that we're going to look at. I've talked to him in depth, not as much in depth as I would like to, but about some of the theoretical aspects, some symbolic aspects of Bansuri. He'll be sharing them with us today. I'll request him to. Um, so I'll introduce who he is after that. And plan of action is how both him and on my channel, both his channel and my channel on the Sanskrit channel, we are going to have uh, more of music. In his, we'll be looking at practical tips on how to start playing the bansuri, and using that, I will be learning the bansuri, or I'll be learning Sangita Shastra, and the the more theoretical aspects of it, the more abstract concepts, those we'll be covering on the Sanskrit channel as well. So that is what we are going to be discussing today. Thank you so much for audible confirmation. Thank you so much, everybody. Namaskaram, namaskaram. New people have joined in. And I see there are almost 100 people and almost 100 likes also. So thank you for remembering to like. If you have not done so already, please click on like button. And in the description, there is also the YouTube channel link of Vivek, the silent flautist, our guest for this evening. Do check out his channel as well. We will now move to the next slide. So the texts of Sangita Shastra, there are hundreds. In the process of research, in every field, there are almost at least minimum 10 texts. I have one physical copy that is there right in front of me, but there are all these digital copies as well. And there is so much to read. There is so much to explore. And from Sangita Ratnakara of Sarangadeva to Bharatamuni's Natya Shastra has some texts on music. Brihad Deshi by Matanga Muni to Avmapatam, which is Lord Shiva's discourses on the concept of music, different concepts of music, to goddess Uma. So Avmapatam is by Umapati, Lord Shiva. So that is a very profound text. Sangita Makaranda by Narada. And there are even Jain monks have composed Sanskrit treatises on music. So we will be covering the concepts from each of them in some detail, pertinent texts. But one thing that I have to mention is while a lot of these texts have a lot of principles and concepts in common, music as a system of exploration and expression has undergone a lot of transformation over years naturally. So there are some concepts which they differ upon. There are some names which are there, in which there are discrepancies. So we'll be looking at what those discrepancies are. I think there are some concepts, very honestly, which even people who are practicing do not really care much about or do not know much about. So we'll be looking at how to personally experience them, how I can practice them and learn this more for myself. And if I would highly, highly, highly encourage any of you who are uh, already have undergone any kind of classical music study, be it Western, Hindustani, Carnatic, be it vocal or instrumental. This will be of great relevance to you. But if you're not one of them, if you're like Naresh Gaurji, who says, I also want to learn to play the flute, Vivek has made step by step lessons on where to start, how to pick it up, where to get your first bansuri, how much budget to allocate. You need not break your bank. So, from the very basics. So, we'll be going through some of his videos also. But this is a great time for you guys to start. And if you're interested in learning either vocals or bansuri, or the bamboo flute, because here is head noob. So I'm a noob myself. I'll be starting from scratch. So we can all start from scratch. I'm hoping to do, Guruji, I'm committing right now, Vivek, hoping that I'll do daily, if not, let me not go too lax. I'll try to do as many as possible every single day practice sessions with some theoretical concepts and basically practicing it for myself, so we can all practice together. If in the among the meetups that we keep conducting in multiple cities, as if and when I travel, we can do those. We can just do travel and meetups if Vivek is up for it, just for bansuri lessons. So this is a great time to start. Theory of Sangita Shastra, from the very profoundest principles of what music is, what nada is, to the more practical explorations and making it into a wholesome exploration of what music is. So, of just to give you guys a quick background before I bring Vivek on, all of these texts that I've mentioned before converge at this point. Definitely, all of them say the same thing. So, this entire existence is nada. So there's the most subtle form of nada, which is unstruck sound or anahata nada, which the yogis delve into. It is what all these texts say. And for more worldly enjoyment, there is ahata nada, which gives you joy and which gives you this sense of which you can relish in the on the worldly plane. And where that nada comes from, the source of origin, all of them say that it is when fire, the principle of fire and the principle of wind, air, come together. So the very sounds na and the na represents Vayu Tattva, and the Vanhi or Agni Tattva, they say. So Agni Maruta yor yogat, Agnihi Maruta yoho yogat, with the combination of Agni and Maruta, wind, Bhaven Nadasya Sambhava. Nada is born. So what is nada? It is the primordial reverb, the first reverb, the physical sound. Nakaraha prana ityukto dakaro vanhiruchyate. The sound na is prana and the depicts Agni. And so at the cosmic level, these are the two elements which came together to provide to generate the first reverb. And in the body, it is again from that same principle. So there are these three grandhis. Everything in creation, the Brahma, Vishnu, and Rudra, all of three are all those three are nadatmakas. So there is many descriptions of the greatness of nada. So nada tanum anisham shankaram namami. There are these compositions where Lord Shiva's body is said to be nada. So all of them have this source point that it is nada from which all creation came about, and it is nada that we are expressing out as sound. And that is the origin of both speech and music and percussions and sounds and wind instruments, of stringed instruments, everything. The origin is nada. And the utpatti, the evolution of nada, is of four kinds of swara, gita, vadya, and tala. From here on forward, so all of this text, so I have just collated shlokas from multiple texts, but going forward we'll look at one of them specifically individually, either Brihad Deshi or Sangita Ratnakara, and look at concepts there, because these concepts again are not just bound to the study of music. Sangita Ratnakara has describes the evolution of an embryo, how an embryo is formed, how the seven dhatus, the sapta dhatus of Ayurveda slowly manifest themselves, and how they are impacted by Nada, how the seven chakras in the human body, from Mooladhara down to Sahasrara up, how they are impacted by Nada. So it's profound. So I'll not go very deep into all of these explorations right now. We'll do them separately, but we'll go into more practical aspects as well. But this is the theoretical aspect of it. This is the right brain stuff, left brain stuff, both of them together maybe. This is the theory aspect of it, which we'll be combining with the practical aspects as well with the help of Vivek. So one last nugget of theory. This is where practice is of utmost importance, because world music in general understands that there are seven distinct sounds that are heard between in an interval of sounds. We'll go to those principles of music and an octave, etc. later. But generally, there are seven most distinct sounds called as swaras, sapta swaras. So the do re mi fa sol la ti or sa re ga ma pa da ni. All of those seven come from three different sound levels called udatta, swarita, and anudatta, which go back to pranava, or the first sound, the primordial sound, the a u the omkara. From omkara came udatta, swarita, and anudatta. From udatta, nishada and gandhara. From swarita, shadja, madhyama, and panchama, which Vivek, I'll bring him on soon. These three are very logical to be grouped together in one. But why are they in this specific order? And from Nishada comes, again, there are 22 more sounds. People like Nilesh Ogji and many other people in many states have done these research on 22 different shrutis, or more distinct variations in sound that are heard by the ear and that can be sung out or expressed out. So each of them, all those 22 shrutis have individual names. So, but again, this is where I think clarity starts to fade as to how. Yes, Vivek, I see you have stuff to add. I'll bring you on. I'll introduce you first. But this is where, at least I think, there is not widespread knowledge, at least until Sarigama Padani, everybody is on the same page. But when we start towards naming these 22 individual shrutis, that is when, even in the text, there are some discrepancies. Why are they in this specific order, and their names themselves sometimes overlap. So hopefully, as we explore more and more of this and gain practical knowledge, which, by the way, has nothing to do with all this theory. You can just listen to what your guru is playing, follow instructions, and become a master of sound and music and expression. But this is slightly, diverged from that kind of a pursuit. So practical application has its path and theoretical exploration has its path. Let us try to merge these both. So this is the theory that I have for today. I hope I have not taken too much time. Now, coming to the practical aspect of it, I'm really, really happy and I'm quite privileged, lucky, whatever you call it, that we have with us a guy who has been practicing Bansuri for more than 2 decades, who teaches people professionally in institutions, whose virtual concert I've just attended this evening, and I have so many questions about and requests from that concert as well. So this is Vivek Anantram. He goes by the name The Silent Flautist. He has started a YouTube channel on my insistence and my bugging him that start making content. So thank you so much, Vivek. I'll bring you up on screen. I'll stop sharing this screen now. Namaskaram. You're now live.
Namaskaram.
He lives in Mumbai. I had the pleasure of listening to him and hearing him play also in person when I was in Mumbai. So thank you so much, Vivek. Welcome. I know you are an AIR graded artist and you have been, there are many other degrees,
Let's not
Visharad,
go
and all
there.
that to your credit. I'll leave that out. But welcome. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
joining us.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
I want to first tell you that your cam is lagging a bit. I hope I am not
Oh,
lagging. Your cam
no,
is
people are commenting. Maybe I'm talking too fast. I don't know what to do about it though.
no. It's frame. It's how do I put it? It's framing.
Oh, okay.
So
Is it
that's
better
okay.
now?
Your sound
Okay.
is absolutely clear though. There's no
Sound is
issue with
good.
the sound.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
best we can hope for. The platform again, maybe it's StreamYard, maybe it's my cam. Not sure.
No, but it's okay. I can hear
Yes,
you
it is
pretty
lagging,
fine.
Mumukshuji says. Okay. If it is lagging, guys, I don't know what settings I can change here though, midstream.
You can try reducing the resolution maybe. I mean,
Yeah, recording settings are camera. Well, it is already at 720p. Is it
okay.
still lagging?
Yeah, it's still
Still
lagging.
framing? Okay. Maybe
That's
let
okay. I
me
mean, that's okay, I guess.
let me do this. Is it any better now? Still the same?
Still the same, but that's okay. So,
Okay, let's manage for this session. PPT slides, I'll share it on Patreon. I'll share it separately, guys. Thank. Or maybe
just
there's not much information, so I'll share it later in description.
by the way, the Udata, Anudata, and the Swarita.
Mm-hmm.
So the concept is something like these were the first three. First, there used to be, while the Vedas are Veda
Yes.
used to be orally
Chanted,
transferred to people.
recited. Yes.
Yeah. So how it used to go, the Swarita is the one that is in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Udata is the one that goes up, and Anudata is the
Yeah.
one that goes down.
Yeah. The sequence in which I've put it.
No, the tone.
Yeah, that is the both the pitch, and that is why I put them there. And yes, please continue. Finish yours. I'll
So it is
note my.
like, so for Om Namaste Astu Bhagavan Vishveshwaraya. It's going up.
Hmm.
Mahade going down.
Hmm. Hmm.
Vaya going up
Yeah.
again. So
Yes.
and if you see the books, they denote it by an underline and a
Correct.
line above. So that is what it
Apostrophe kind.
used to be.
Yes.
But what happened is, so if you see, so it is the Komal knee and Komal Rishabh that is, it goes
Hmm.
up and down between that. So
Wonderful.
the Swarita and how the Swarita and Anudata and Udata it comes into the seven notes is, Swarita is
Mm-hmm.
the base note that is
Hmm.
always taken. It's a technically important positions is what they call
Hmm.
as Swarita.
Yeah.
So
Right. Right.
Shadja,
So there
Madhyama,
is a
and Panchama.
yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
There is a shloka which from which this is taken. Udate nishada gandharav,
Yes,
अनुदात्त ऋषभधैवतौ
correct.
स्वरित प्रथम ह्येते षड्ज मध्यम पंचमाः.
I
So
think
I
it is
think this
from Sharangdev's. I'm not sure.
Sharandev Paniniya Shiksha mentions it. Even in grammar, it is this shloka comes about.
Okay, I
Yeah.
I don't remember reading the exact text. So how it goes is,
Hmm.
the main notes are Shadja, Madhyama, and Panchama. So they are
Hmm.
called swaras. The
Hmm.
Udata and the Anudata are positions which have uh, different kinds of distances from the swaritas.
Hmm.
So it is with respect to the number of shruti distances from the swarita that matters. The swaritas in themselves have four shrutis
Right.
each. The
Right.
names of the
When we
shrutis is
when we
what you
go into this, I want to be a little more pictorial. So because even I am not getting a clearer picture,
I-
so let's make more
but these are the
kind of more
22 shrutis.
spoon-fed content. Like yes,
I
yes.
So you
I want a
talked
more
about the
pictorial
22 shrutis.
depicted.
The
Hmm.
name of the 22 shrutis is right here. Tivra,
Hmm.
Komuditi, Manda, and Chandovati is the four shrutis
Yes.
for Shadja, and
Yes.
all the uh,
What
like the.
was okay? I don't want to jump the gun, and but I have question about that. But generally, they say sa and par fixed, right?
No, no, no. ऐसा नहीं है.
अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है, वो बाद में करेंगे, अभी नहीं करेंगे। वी आर जंपिंग दैट दैट वाज समथिंग व्हिच आई फाउंड
You have to
कंफ्यूजिंग।
fix two notes. Which one?
राइट
It can be either Madhyam or Pancham. It depends.
राइट। सो बट इफ दे आर फिक्स्ड, how are there four variations of them again,
No,
is my question.
they are not variations. They are
Uh-huh.
measurements. They are not variations. They are
Okay.
measurements.
How, what do you mean measurements? There are
Imagine
four distinct sounds, right?
they are.
No?
Are Baba, wait.
Huh.
It is a
Yes.
distance. It's a distance of frequencies. Imagine a
Yes.
scale. Okay, normal
Yes, yes.
15 centimeter scale,
Uh-huh.
chota scale. We used to use
Yes.
that scale.
Yes, yes.
If you see, there is a how many millimeters are there between 0 and 1? 10.
Yeah.
So once you cover those 10 markings, where you
Hmm.
reach,
Hmm.
that position becomes
Yeah, these are
your one.
smaller and smaller intervals of measurement.
Yes,
That is what.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay.
if you take sa at the
Okay.
first
I
position,
get it. Uh-huh.
yeah, so then the next four positions and the fifth position after that, you will get the komal ray, and then three
Hmm.
positions after that, you will get the shuddha ray, and
Interesting.
then one position
Interesting.
after that, you will get the komal ga,
Yeah.
then two
Hmm.
positions after that, the shuddha ga.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm. And in
it's
Rishabha, there
marking.
are three: Dayavati, Ranjani,
Yeah,
and Ratika, not just two.
yeah.
Not the Komal Ray and Shudhrin. There is
No, no,
one
no, no.
more.
There is a difference of two shrutis between the shuddha ray and the komal ray.
Okay, there is an interesting graphic that I want to show you later on. Okay, we are jumping the gun a little bit.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
let's do a little slow fire. Uh, is my frame better now, or it's still going up
It's
and down? There are
okay. I
some
mean, I
suggestions. ठीक है. Sorry guys, but we'll do something about this later on. I'm not able to find that one perfect platform to do live streams from. But Vivek, tell us about your journey, man. Let's go all the way back. Why Bansuri? How Bansuri? Like
let's not go to why
so long.
Bansuri, but
Okay.
basically, what happened is one fine day, I figured out that I want to take up the flute. I was
Hmm.
learning the keyboard for around 8 years before that. I
Oh, okay.
try learning the tried learning the keyboard, but
Hmm.
this brain couldn't comprehend why keyboard. But then
Mm-hmm.
something about the flute, I won't go into the why, but yeah, something about the
Hmm.
flute caught my attention, and I said that I
Hmm.
really want to do the flute.
Hmm.
And my dad got me that
You were
20.
too young. How young were you?
I was in my ninth grade, 14 years.
Acha. Acha.
Not very
Huh.
young. Like I was
Huh.
14 years old when I started. So
Okay.
a little less than 14. Maybe I was 13 and a half or
Hmm.
something like that.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that is when my dad got me that 20 rupees flute.
Hmm.
And I
Hmm.
spent almost 6 months trying to blow into it and get the sound out of it.
6 months
And
you were consistent with it. Nice.
yeah, I was
You're
crazy
doing
about it.
something with it.
So
Huh.
yeah, because I'm kind of a guy with something called ADHD. तो वो
Hmm.
पागलपन छूटता नहीं है मेरा.
Hmm.
So once
Hmm.
you take up something, unless you can get it right, I
Hmm.
really don't want to leave it away. So
Hmm.
and weirdly, music is that thing that you can never get right, no matter how good you do it.
You
So I'm still
well,
at it.
yeah, true. Hmm.
Don't break the
Wonderful.
flute.
So how
Okay. Anyway, uh,
don't break the flute? Don't pay too much attention to comments right,
sure,
right
sure.
now.
Okay. So
So wonderful. So how where did you start learning it? What was
my
your
dad was
first?
my first guru. He was the one
Oh,
who
okay.
actually tried to teach me to blow into the flute, and I was struggling. And then
Hmm.
once I got it, I was a menace at home.
Hmm.
So he used to throw me inside
Yeah.
the bathroom and lock me inside.
Hmm.
He did it a couple
Yeah.
of times when I got very annoying, and mom was also not there at home to control me. So
Hmm.
then I
This is a
used to
running
practice.
joke in that movie also, no? This guy in the Family Man series, Bansuri Wade.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
बेटा
yeah.
बांसुरी वादक
I could relate with that. Like my
really?
reminded me of
Oh,
my dad.
oh, okay.
So
Hmm.
it happened a
Yeah.
couple of times, and
Huh.
but then I was consistent with the practice. But I never found a
Hmm.
guru at that time. I found it
Hmm.
around 3 years later when I
Hmm.
completed my 12th grade. I found my guru when as soon as I
Hmm.
entered into the first year of my engineering. My guru Pandit Vivek Sonarji, who is
Hmm.
a disciple of Padma Bhushan Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia ji.
Hmm.
And I remember the first class, the way I got humbled.
Hmm.
And by that time, I was okay with the flute. I wouldn't say I was
Oh,
good, because he humbled me in just one sa, that he played that sa, and I was.
really? Really? Wow. Okay. Hmm. Hmm.
I can never forget that sa. That's something that I strive to play. That sa. I get it at
Really?
times, and I'm ecstatic.
Hmm.
So I then the musical journey started with
Hmm.
him, slowly getting me into the world of flute, and I just
Hmm.
practiced like a madman. Sometimes 8 hours, sometimes 12 hours, sometimes 16 hours. Sometimes I
Hmm.
didn't even know how time passed.
Hmm.
Like sitting early in the morning at 6, and then
Hmm.
suddenly realizing that it is 9 o'clock. I don't even know.
Hmm.
I don't
Wow.
remember having that sense of timing.
Hmm.
No food, no water, no nothing. Straight 16 hours.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, and here I am. That's it.
Nice, nice. So, I mean, I have, let me tell you a little bit about why flute for me. I kind of, I mean, again, for everybody who doesn't know, Vivek was also an engineer. He is an engineer to some extent. He's still suffering it a little bit. But I was an engineer who's supposed to be an arts guy. But I was like, कुछ तो करेंगे, something more artsy, something aesthetic. And the most I mean the most the kind of music that I was listening to, and the kind of how do I call it, the all the incentives were to pick up a guitar. So I thought, okay, chalo guitar bajayenge abhi. I bought one. I started looking for lessons, started playing it, but then something did not seem right. I would never again really like the sound of the twang, and बट गाने तो अच्छे लगते हैं, लेकिन इसका साउंड कुछ जम नहीं रहा है. So then I would just pick it up, leave it, or maybe think that this is not probably the right instrument. I have to buy probably a better quality instrument, or a better quality instrument. I thought it was always the instrument and not me. Then after leaving it for a long time, then once life situations changed and I got into yoga, and then I realized, listening to music, that oh, there are some sounds that I find most resonating with me. And that, not veena, not violin, I love those instruments, but when that continuous breath becomes sound, that was the one that struck the deepest. So I'm like, okay, chalo ye bajana hai abhi. So I picked it up, started learning it a little bit myself, started I can blow into it. I how much I can play, how much I
You're
cannot play.
pretty decent with it. I
uh,
must.
so, so I started with my own, self-learning kind of situations. I attended some workshops, 3-day workshops, 4-day workshops. But again, I know it is something that needs a lot of discipline, and something that discipline with love, not something that you suffer and do it. So thank you
I
so much for creating those lessons, and I really look forward to more and more play along sessions. One
Yep.
thing is, I mean, as I keep practicing them, I'll also pester you for more personal feedback. You guys also can do that. You look at
Anytime.
the videos that Vivek is putting up, comment on what you got right, what you are looking for personally, to progress. So so get us started, Vivek. So in let me share your channel. Let's go through the first couple of videos on how people can
Sure.
learn. So for those of you who want to start learning with me, with the guidance of Vivek, here is his first video on how to learn flute and how long it will take to learn the flute.
So
Let me
you
share my
skipping
screen.
to the last part, is it?
No, I'm playing the first video. Shall we? watch it
Yeah, yeah.
out?
Go ahead.
Do I
Go
watch it,
ahead. Go ahead.
or should we do? Should we watch the whole video? It is
Just skip to the
15
last part.
minutes. हाँ ठीक
I
है
let,
ठीक है.
let's just skip to the last part. That's the most interesting part. That's the
Okay.
question that most people have. So let's answer that for them.
Okay. Oh, they're also nicely bunched into chapters. So if anybody wants to replay the video, he's doing a brilliant job of making content with my inputs. I'll take credit. Thank you very
Oh,
much.
yes, you have to. I mean, I was going to say it
That's
myself. I'm glad you took it yourself, but I really need to say that I would never have gone into YouTube unless you would have pushed
Arey,
me.
this is
You are
just the beginning. This is just I'm going to pester you more and more, guys. Please go there, click on subscribe, and join me. I request you to join me. The more, the merrier. Students will form a group. I I mean, Vivek, he himself has a bunch of students, but we can also be a bunch of online students who are learning from him. And
I would actually
like you
like
said, right?
that. I just realized there are so many people who have been wanting to learn the instrument, but then there are several different reasons, which is not financial, not specifically financial. One is main thing is time. Either they don't have it or I don't have it. And then I just realized that actually YouTube could be a good way of teaching them, and my classes
YouTube is
wouldn't
the
be more.
best for learning something. There are so many things. True.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I just realized that now. I mean, uh, I must thank you for that.
Arey,
Thank you so much.
my selfish needs are also getting full, so I'm happy. So, can I learn a thing or two if I learn Carnatic flute too? Is
Definitely.
Ramdhirji's
Look,
question.
there's no problem in Carnatic or Hindustani. Though I'll be teaching Hindustani. If you go through this video, which is a very beautiful clickbait, but if you go through this video, I actually explain that I'll be what I'm covering in this course, which is
Hmm.
basically the
Hmm.
Hindustani style of music. But it
Hmm.
really doesn't matter after a point of time, and I'll explain that if
Hmm.
during the course of this discussion. So it
Right.
really doesn't
Okay.
matter if it is
Huh.
Carnatic or Hindustani.
Huh.
Go ahead.
So because you are here anyway, let's not spend 15 minutes watching this. Who is this course intended for? I'd say everybody, but what's your
I,
take
I
on
I
this?
I've also said that it's everybody, but
Huh.
basically, if you're over 30, you might have
Huh.
some issues in learning because your
Huh.
brain actually doesn't allow you to. I mean,
Hmm.
it's just a natural process that happens. Your brain actually processes with your natural uh,
Hmm.
information that is already present. So learning becomes
Hmm.
slightly difficult unless you have
Hmm.
trained your brain that way. Like
Hmm.
there are very few people
Kept it a
like.
little agile. Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, people who generally tend to practice yoga or practice
Hopefully,
sadhana
hopefully.
as
Thank you
a
for that.
principle. Huh?
Yes. Thank you for that. What is it called? Silver lining.
No, no,
But
I'm being very honest. I have seen
hmm.
that in my around 12 years of career as a teacher, people who
Hmm.
tend to practice sadhana or in any
Hmm.
form, like either
Hmm.
they are doing it in their work as a teacher
Hmm.
or a scientist, or they are
Hmm.
doing it as a practitioner of a yoga, or they are a priest or
Hmm.
something. They are
Hmm.
continuously evolving. It's a very evolving process. So your
Makes
brain is
sense.
always
Yes.
active. They find it easier to learn,
Yes.
but then
Hmm.
your joints don't help you much.
Yes. Yes.
That's
There
the
is
only
Upayoga
reason.
for that. Isha Upayoga keep to keep your digits nimble. But arey, back hurts. Yeah, that is there. Hopefully, it will go back with time. But
It
with
it it
more
it
yoga,
goes it goes it goes with
because you
time,
have to
definitely.
sit, the posture has to be maintained. You can't slouch or slack or lie down and do this. You,
Yes.
yeah.
But to
So
be
if
honest, if your back hurts, you're not doing it right. Your back shouldn't hurt.
is it yeah, these kind of things, hopefully we'll bring Vivek on live stream, do live stream on his channel, and pester him with these kind of questions. uh,
It
there are
can be
more
for anyone,
questions
but
related
to
to
answer that, it's for everybody. Just start
hmm,
learning. There's
hmm,
no age limit to start learning. Though, if you're planning to make your young ones sit, make sure they're at
hmm,
least 12 years of age. I've
hmm,
said 10 in the video, but I recommend 12. That's when they have some sense
hmm.
of, or like they have self
Some
interest. Yeah,
right, some sense of relishment, some kind of joy in learning thing,
exactly. And I don't
asking
recommend.
questions.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and I don't recommend people practicing out of spite, it's a terrible thing. Don't
Why
do
are
that.
people practicing out of spite? How does somebody practice out of
Kids
spite?
practice out of spite because their parents tell them to. uh,
Oh,
you
that's the
you are
case.
thinking in a very simplistic way, like, why will I self be motivated by spite? And trust me,
Hmm.
if you practice every day for 2 hours or 3 hours, you will
Huh.
also have spite on some day.
Hmm.
It
Okay.
happens, it happens. I've
Okay.
gone through that.
Yeah,
So
I'm hopefully because I'm merging these two, right? So the theory aspect also. So I'm hoping one will keep me on track for the other will keep me on track for the other. So I'm
yes, it
hoping
will,
both of
it
them,
does, it does,
will
it does.
when
I,
one wheel slacks off, the other one pushes forward, kind of. But more questions related to age, guys. So Vivek answered them. So what does the course cover, Vivek? Hindustani
I'm
Carnatic
teaching
style.
the Hindustani style, and
Huh.
I'll basically be covering the entire course of by Gandharva Mahavidyalaya, Miraj. They
Wonderful.
have around 50 ragas, so I'll be
Hmm.
teaching all of them. I'll be
Hmm.
covering the some 20 odd talas, giving an information about them, and I've already
Hmm.
scripted it. It's
Hmm.
going to be around the course
Lovely.
itself is going to be around 2 years long, but I
Hmm.
don't think you will be able to complete the course in 2 years. You'll have to, practice way more than that. I'll be putting up play along videos.
Like I said, slow burning, man, slow cooking process right now. So we'll,
Yeah.
do live streams, practice the alankars. We'll do alankars
Yes.
for how many ever months, years you ask us to. Guess, give us the play along videos, and we'll play along in nice tandem. So,
Yes,
uh,
definitely.
yes. So what does the course cover? That he has
Um,
mentioned.
Classical
Age,
music.
yes, he's mentioned.
Yeah, classical music basically is about, mostly it's about, in Hindustani, it's mostly about improvisation, which
Hmm.
is a very creative process. At the same time,
Hmm.
the beauty of it is it is by muscle memory. So
Hmm.
it is training your brain to be creative spontaneously, which is,
Hmm.
it's a different kind of feel.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that is
Wonderful.
there,
So it's
and
very wholesome in that sense that
very
you learn
wholesome,
to
and
read
it's
it,
very
write it,
satisfying. Very
yeah,
satisfying.
and
I assure you,
yeah,
it's very satisfying.
yeah, express yourself, not just repeat something that has been taught, but also improvise. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So you'll be covering texts and principles. Yes, we'll do that
Yes,
together.
I will
Hopefully.
definitely be covering some
Hmm.
principles and texts which are
Hmm.
necessary for the course. I don't want to cover the entirety because some of it is very redundant, in the sense it's not
Hmm.
very. I wouldn't say it's not practical. Like, theoretically,
Hmm.
it's beautiful. The
Hmm.
concepts are beautiful. The way
Hmm.
he explains what a raga is also very beautiful.
Hmm.
The way he
Hmm.
explains the concepts
Hmm.
of swaras, especially Sharangadev, it's
Hmm.
beautiful.
Hmm.
Natya Shastra is very technical. Sarangdev is very. It has a lot of epithets, and
Hmm.
it,
Yeah.
it explains it very beautifully. Uh,
That makes it a little more experiential, I feel. Like
yes, yes,
taking it
Sarangdev.
to an abstract level.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
Sarangdev's, I've completed just 3 chapters now, and
Hmm.
it's beautiful. It's a very wholesome book compared to the Natya
Yeah,
Shastra, which is
you
has
can
only one
emote
chapter
with it.
dedicated to music.
I've
I think
heard.
the
I've heard.
26th or 28th. I don't remember
Yeah.
which one.
Hmm.
So uh, Natya Shastra is a huge text, which a
Hmm.
lot of information. It's a purely
Hmm.
technical treatise,
It's
nothing
an
else.
encyclopedia.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
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 And you have to break your brains. So basically, I would say Sharang Dev's uh, Sangita Ratnakara is actually somewhat a commentary of a few chapters of the Natya
Hmm.
Shastra, and
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
he's
It's a
very
more
elab.
approachable
Yeah,
kind of a text. Yeah.
yeah.
Makes sense. Lovely.
And
And
yeah,
how
it's very
long will
nice.
it take? Should we play
I think we
this?
should watch this.
Well,
This is
let's
a
watch
fun
this.
part to watch.
Let's watch this. How long will it take to learn the flute?
Question.
Audible?
How long will I take to learn the flute? Now, I have been learning the flute for the last 17 years now, and I am still learning. I have been teaching the flute for around 12 years. And with my experience, I will probably be spewing very unpopular facts in this question. One of the most controversial statements and one of the most unpopular but true statement is this: if you ever come across a course that offers you learning any instrument or art form in 15 days or 8 weeks is either a very cheap clickbait or it's a really bad scam. Let me explain why.
You want to
There
pause?
are two main reasons. So
Huh?
I am not going to. Uh, I mean, it's a fact. Uh, Guys, don't fall into this trap if you ever come across some course, because
I've seen those
YouTube
ads.
is going to give you ads just because
I
you are
know.
watching
I've
this
seen
video.
those
You're going to
ads.
get ads like learn flute
Yes,
in 8 weeks and learn flute in
I
15
know.
days. That doesn't happen.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yes.
just don't
I
fall into it.
Anybody who has learnt and gained reasonable level of mastery in anything knows that क्या बोल रहे हो. But I've seen those ads. But wherever there is, I mean, there is a market. People are willing to sell something. So um, yes. So let's go into more of
And
these.
I'm not selling anything.
I,
So,
I,
first is that there are several factors that need to be taken into consideration before even
And played at
thinking
1.5.
about
one.
giving a
Okay.
timeline for how long it will take, like age, time given to practice every day, motivation levels, consistency, which form of music is being learned, the flute being used, and so many more. There is no expertise level mentioned in any of these courses, which means you would be probably learning just to blow into the flute for 15 days, and probably in 8 weeks you would learn nothing more than the mere basics of the flute. And I assure you, the ocean of music is too vast to think that you can master any music or art form or instrument in 8 weeks. To cover the first point, kids learn much faster than adults over 30. That is a race you cannot win. And it is pointless to even get into a race while you learn music. Do not compare yourself to anyone while learning any form of art. Enjoy the process of learning. The process is beautiful and liberating. If you're not motivated or you lose motivation during the course of learning, you will just stop being consistent, which will further lead to lesser practice. And over the time and during the course, you will learn slower. The key to learning fast is just consistency in practice. As I mentioned before, I have learned the Hindustani style of music, and I will definitely be going according to a set syllabus in this course. At times, it can definitely get dry and uninteresting, but I definitely guarantee this. It is these uninteresting parts that will take us to the most interesting stuff. Coming to the second point, with my experience, I am dividing the expertise level into 3 stages with varying hours of practice to give you a perspective, considering you are around 17 to 25 years of age when you start learning. So the first expertise level is of the beginners. You will reach here with around 3000 hours of sincere practice that you put in. What you can do now is read and write the Hindustani style of music with moderate fluency. You are somewhat ear trained and have a good understanding of the musical notes. You can moderately improvise an Indian classical raga, and you do understand the concept of Indian classical performances and you enjoy it. Not to mention, with some level of difficulty, you can even notate your most favorite songs and pieces. Your flute tone might still be a little harsh and unpolished because you are still figuring out the nuances of gamaks, murkis, means, khatkas, and various other techniques that are used. The next level of expertise is the intermediate. You will reach here with around 10,000 hours of rigorous practice. Now, you're fluent in reading and writing music. Your training is pretty good, and you can identify almost all pieces, songs, and vocals on the go. Not to mention, you can write and create your own compositions, classical compositions, with some little difficulty. Notations come as a second breath to you. You hear notations in literally everything, and you hear musical pieces as notations themselves.
This is something a lot of
And
people
you do
want, no?
understand the limitations of
Like,
your own
how
instrument.
do I, listen to something and then, replicate that tune?
Yes, it takes time, but it comes. It does come. Uh, it depends also on. I have, I don't know how to put it. I have actually averaged out the number hours of practice because, and it's a very crude way of putting it, but I mean, people would definitely contradict this and say that मेरे साथ तो ऐसा नहीं हुआ, but it's something like this. There are a lot of factors which I mentioned previously, and some of them is also upbringing and the kind of environment that you've been born and raised in. What your I would even say to go to that level that in in your mother's womb what she has heard. That also
Hmm.
affects a
Well, that's
lot of stuff, and
yeah, true.
I'm not even kidding. My
Yes.
mom has was listening to Carnatic music all her life. I have not
Uh,
been trained in Carnatic music at all, and I can play Carnatic music fluently. This is
hmm.
definitely something that she has done for me. I mean, I'm
That's very
definitely going
sweet.
to be
That's very
thanking her
sweet.
for that. So
Hmm.
there's a lot of stuff involved here. It's not that
Hmm.
simple, but you
Hmm.
can do anything you want by
Hmm.
practice. So when
Right.
I say that 10,000 hours of practice, if you put it, I'm
Hmm.
sure of it, like you will
Hmm.
get it. But then your
Hmm.
age factor also comes in. So if
Hmm.
you're above 30 years, 35, 40 years of age, maybe that
Hmm.
10,000 hours becomes 15 or 20,000 hours, but you will
Hmm.
get it. You have to just be
Right,
consistent.
right. But the like they say, right? The joy is in the process itself. So as long we are
Yes.
enjoying the process of it, and here we are, we can't do anything that has already happened. So here we are. Let's see how we can go about it. And Lynette G asks, wonderful question: is it free? Where to enroll? Let's not eat on your watch time, guys. For the other three videos as well, he has done subsequent videos. Please check them out. We'll stop the video watching here. But about this quick question, Vivek, can you take this?
Yes. It is absolutely free. You don't have to pay a single dime. Just subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon. You'll start getting updates. I've already put up 3 videos now, and which is all reached something like blowing into the flute. Uh, till how to blow into the flute and how to get a grip of the flute and correct posture. The next video is going to be the 7 notes, playing into the 7 notes, and how to start playing into the 7 notes, and how memory, muscle memory works. I'll be explaining all of that in the next video. Uh,
Hmm.
just go ahead, start learning. There's nothing.
Yes. When is that seven notes wala video coming?
Next one, next one,
Yeah,
next Friday.
next one, right? Okay, cool, cool. Because let's get started. I want to do live streams. I want to keep myself, on that track. So I want
I
to
think we can do
arrange my
this
situations
every
in such a way.
once a month. We can do this, Uday. I mean, I would love
Huh.
to.
With you, yes. With you, definitely yes. Once a month, or little once a month. Let's negotiate that.
Once in two
But
months is also fine.
no. Twice in a month is good. Na tera na
Okay.
mera. No, but I want to arrange my situations in such a way that I don't give up on practice. So, guys, you also about where to buy that flute, how much to spend on a flute, and what kind of a flute to get, where to get. All of those also he has already covered, and in that very step by step way, he'll do more videos as well. But it's almost 1 hour. Vivek, can you give us some enthrallers with some music? Oi.
Yeah, I'll definitely be happy for that. Venom is asking, will the entire session course happen on YouTube? Yes, it will happen only on YouTube. I'll be putting YouTube
Lovely,
videos for everything. So
lovely.
by Lelo,
Yes.
bhai,
So,
ma'am, I don't want to take my knowledge
I
to the grave.
tagged the silent flautist, and you can search for it, or I'll put a link in the description. There is, you can already go there with the tag in the title. But I want to do some playing today. So can you do something, and can we do a play along right now?
Sure. You want to do it on the E flute?
Huh?
You want to do it on the E?
I want to do it on the E, please. Yes.
Go ahead, take it.
Or both. Huh. Oh, before that, I wanted to show you this. What I want to get your inputs on this. I have this beautiful app, either for theory or for practice. You look at this and let me know what you feel about this. It's something which I find really really fascinating. Maybe we can use this to kind of you know uh, visualize the shrutis and the swaras a little more.
Sure. Which one is it? What's the name of the app?
Let me share. It's called a Pitch Lab.
Oh, okay.
So this is how, if I'm at C.
Right. It's
So
at C.
yeah, it's a continuous thing. Sa re ga So even with the gamak and the mean, it'll kind of give you a,
Pretty good, yeah.
you
I
know,
mean, nice.
huh. And so I mean it's in that English notation right now, but we can do some jugaad to convert it into
There is
shabda
this
or
app.
shubha.
Okay, I know. There's an app called Nada Sadhana. That's also a
Okay.
nice app. It's on
Huh.
subscription. This, I think this might be free, but the other one
Huh.
is on it has a subscription on it. But
Hmm.
it's a very good app. I just recently
I'll look it
purchased
up.
it. It's
I'll look
pretty
it
good.
up.
Yeah,
Huh.
it's similar.
So
It gives you whether the note is hitting or not.
yes. So
Could you
the
please
notice
give us?
hitting and you know uh, how it is visualized, because I've seen a lot of Instagram videos, reels recently denoting. You had shown me that Beethoven ka ride along
Yeah, yeah. It's a
video.
beautiful. Yeah,
So
I know. It's a
yeah, this is kind of that feel that you see the progression of what you're doing. So just
yes.
wanted to do. We'll use this later. We'll not do this now for exploring more theoretical stuff and to visualize how it is going, or maybe in videos. Just wanted to show that before we get started.
So what do you want me to teach you today? So.
Yes, please. So in the concert that you did in the evening,
Mhm,
you, Sri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajo Mana. It's
mhm.
in Yaman, is it? I didn't know
Yeah,
it was in Yaman.
it's Kalyani. Yeah, it's
So
Yaman or
Yaman,
Kalyani
Yaman in Hindustani, Kalyani Raga
in
in
Carnatic.
Carnatic, and it is the first raga on Bansuri, right? Because
It's not necessary.
Tivrama, you don't have to really half close, half open
I know I'll be
for.
going with the Shuddhama only in my course because
Oh, okay.
it's a
Bilavali
good
Om Ho.
introduction to the half note concept. No, so I
Right.
go with the Shuddhama because
Acha.
it's okay to start being learning to be uncomfortable on the flute. So I
Okay.
would go with the
But
Shuddhama itself.
would you say Yaman is the easiest then on Bansuri for a
Eh,
beginner?
If technically, I would say
Huh.
technically,
Okay.
matlab, with respect to the fingers and the blowing and
Okay. So
वगैरह वगैरह.
can you maybe do a line of Sri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajamana, or maybe
Sure,
play it for us first and then
sure.
teach a line or something. Huh.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
I
E
will
E
teach.
scale ले लूँ?
हाँ, E ले लो.
Yeah. हाँ.
Beautiful rag, no? I love the feel. So let's go with the Aro Avro of the rag. Just Ni re ga ma da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa.
The mean and the slow moving, I'll not do. I'll try to blow. This is as good as my first lesson, I'll think so.
Ni re ga.
Yeah.
So, ni re ga ma. While playing ma, you make sure that your fingers don't touch the flute. So
Okay. Not even the thumb.
yes,
Not even the thumb.
no, thumb yes, thumb yes,
Okay.
thumb doesn't move,
Okay.
but the index finger doesn't touch the flute.
Okay.
Correct. Beauty. Okay, so
We'll do
I'll
more of this, guys. Tomorrow, day after, we'll keep doing this.
play the
Jaishri mere
song.
gama
No,
dane se.
ni
What?
ni re ga
ni re sa. Okay. So now you are a Sanskrit, you are the Sanskrit guy. So I'll tell you
Okay.
and this bhajan is in Sanskrit, so you
Okay.
can't not see the beauty in it.
Uh huh.
So the thing is, he has written it in syllables of 7.
Uh huh.
Shri Ram चंद्र कृ एक दो तीन एक दो
एक दो
तीन चार एक दो
na
तीन
na
एक
na
दो.
na 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 na. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Get it?
Uh
So
huh.
keep the rhythm in mind,
Okay.
and then ni re ga ni re sa ni re ga
Got it.
ni re sa. Perfect. इतना नी रे ग ग ग म ग रे ग रे नी सा नी द.
Too
Go
fast.
ahead. नी रे
Ni
ग
re ga
ग ग ग
ga ga
म ग.
ma
इतना ही
ga.
बजाओ. नी रे
हाँ
ग
हाँ.
ग ग म ग.
तीव्र माही है.
शुद्ध म. दिस इज शुद्ध म.
अ- अच्छा.
रे ग रे नी सा रे ग रे नी सा नी द. नी रे रे मा. दिस इज तीव्र म. नी रे रे मा म प म. रे ग रे सा. So ni re ga 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 शुद्ध म ग रे ग रे ni sa ni द ni re re तीव्र म प प रे ग रे सा.
क्या बात है, क्या बात है.
Try it.
वा-
You can do it. Try it.
हाँ, I noticed that I'm still touching my index finger when I'm playing the Tivrama.
It'll go with practice.
I'm not. हाँ, okay.
म ग ni ध ni ध रे रे म म प प रे ग रे सा. वाह. नि ते रे न न त द.
I need to probably look at it
Sure.
on paper or
You
something.
already have it recorded now that we are doing this stream, so
हाँ
you can
हाँ
come
हाँ.
back to it.
Yes, yes.
So you have so now with this one line, you've already covered 4 lines of this composition because
Right. हाँ.
it has the same tune.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
first the entire mukhda. So yeah,
हाँ हाँ. Cool. So, uh, uh, yeah, Enthrallus, thank you so much for your very patient lessons. I'll bug you more, but
go
give us
ahead.
play along videos really
Yes,
soon
yes.
so that I can
I
start.
will. That's the whole point. I'll be
हाँ.
having a lot of play along videos, and
Hmm.
I think that that's the only thing that I'll be doing different, because I've checked out many people, and thanks to your format, I'll be using, the your guided chant format that you have,
Oh,
reading along. So I'll
yeah,
be
best, best,
using that
best.
for the play along. So
Lovely,
it'll be
lovely.
easier for people to, know what they are playing,
Yes,
visualize what they are playing.
true.
Uh, I just hope that all the senses are being used properly.
Huh. Can you tell me the notation one more time, Vivek?
Ni
Nirega,
Shri Ram, Shri Ram. This will be Ni Re Ga, Ni Re Sa.
Huh.
Then Shri
Nirega,
Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajamana Sharana
Kripalu.
Bhava Bhayadarunam. Ni re ga 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 ma ga re ni sa ni da ni re ma ma pa pa ga re sa. So see how I say ma and ma. So ma becomes
Hmm.
tivra ma becomes shuddha ma.
Hmm.
So if you just,
Understood.
like it,
Understood.
that's how I've tuned it in my brain.
Yes.
Ni re ga 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 ma ga re ni sa ni da ni re ma ma pa pa
Makes
ga
sense.
re sa.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I'll rewind this video and note this down in more leisure
Yeah,
later on.
just small things,
Uh,
to help you
huh.
get the notes right in your
Yes.
brain. You can't have
Yes.
ma and ma at the same place.
Huh.
Your
Huh.
brain doesn't function that way. You can't have
Right.
information put there. So you have 12
Yes.
different syllables per se. So Komal Re
Yes.
becomes Re.
Hmm.
Sare,
Hmm.
Sare. Re
Yeah.
becomes Shuddha Re and Re becomes
Yeah.
Komal Re.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah. So all of these concepts, if they sound a little alien, daunting, guys, I mean,
Yeah,
Vivek
I'm
will start from the very basics,
yes.
um, and I'll also be doing a little bit of theory. I would not say I'm an absolute noob with music or bansuri, because, like I said, I've been picking it up, dropping it off. I'm hoping I'll be more consistent. I've always hoped from today on, very auspicious day. So I'm thinking we'll keep it more consistent.
Specifically auspicious because it is Matangi's uh,
Yeah,
Navratri.
yeah, yeah.
She's
Yeah.
specifically there
Just
for us.
yeah, 9 days. I'll do. Oh, brilliant! I'll take up this custom nomb, my own vratam kind of a thing. That 9 days, I'll pakka make sure that I'll practice.
15 minutes now.
Ha
15
ha.
minutes.
I will.
Not
Ha.
much.
Thank. Yes, for sure, Guruji. But what should I do? Like alankar, shall I start with? Like
Yeah, Alankars
I'll
is
take up
fine.
alankars
Yes,
and
I
what?
would say take one Alankar every day.
Hmm.
Um, don't take the basic ones. Go for like the Sare Sare Ga,
Hmm.
that one. and
Hmm.
and then the ninth day practice the pyramid Alankar
Hmm.
continuously. The
Hmm.
pyramid.
Hmm. Hmm.
Zare za, zare ga re za, zare ga ma ga re za, that one. So
Yeah.
you do the pyramid, and then that should be fine. Like you'll see
Hmm.
an improvement in your blowing if you do it every day. And
Pakka.
I would rather say that keep it, rather than practicing for 50, rather than having a time limit, have
Hmm.
a number of times that you'll play it. So say
Hmm.
that uh I'll play this Alankar 20 times without making an error.
Hmm.
Keep that as a target. So like even if you make a mistake on the 19th time, start from
Hmm.
one.
Start
One.
over. Yeah, I've
Yes,
heard of this
that's a good way of
methodology.
practicing.
Hmm. Hmm. Lovely. Thank you so much, Vivek. And anything else on guys? If you have any questions, you can
Yeah, I
ask
was
us now.
expecting some
Any
more
parting comments?
theoretical questions. People asking very nice questions though.
Huh.
Get out of your Japki Mala and do Alankar 108 times daily. Uh, um. Oh, Nisha sent a
Oh,
super
thank you
sticker.
so
Thank you
much.
so much,
Thank you so
Nisha.
much, Nisha
Bless
ji.
you. 100 times daily, 8 times daily. I wouldn't recommend that, and you really don't need to stop doing japa for practicing. You just need to allocate time. That's it.
Hmm. Hmm. And I think I'll find that motivation again with all the theory exploration also. And tomorrow I'll pakka do that. Nisha Sharma ji, thank you so much for the super chat. Are you a Bansuri player? Why such shower of love? I mean, not questioning it, but thank you. But I'm just curious.
Thank you so much.
If,
I
if
am not going to
yeah.
question anything. I'm going to just go down to you and say thank you.
Yes, yes. But I'm curious. Like, are you into music, classical music, or Bansuri player? Somebody said there was White Wolf, somebody in the White Fang said I play Bansuri too. If you're interested in joining us, White Fang, you can let me know. Um, oh, you really wanted to learn Nishaji. Wonderful.
Very
So
nice,
yes,
Nitya ji. I
Vivek's
would
YouTube
recommend
channel.
please
Please check out
subscribe
his
to
channel.
my channel and if you just browse through the videos. They are not they are
Yeah.
in simple English. They are not.
Hmm.
I have not used very elaborate language. I've kept it
Hmm.
as basic as possible. In fact,
Yes.
I have repeated several words, so I didn't want to change the words. Also, I've just
Hmm.
put it in as simple language as possible. Put
Lovely.
it in English because I find it comfortable to speak in English.
Hmm.
So that's it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hindustani
And
flute sounds a shruti lower than a Carnatic, even if it has the same like 2.5. Oh, that's a beautiful question.
is it?
Hindustani
Oh,
flute has a different tuning to the Carnatic flute because
is it?
it's the position of the hole. So the ones that we are learning is the first three holes are closed becomes sa for the Hindustani flute, where the
Mm-hmm.
Carnatic flute the first two holes closed becomes sa.
Okay.
So if you can go to my third video and have a look. I have shown the finger positions and everything. So
Okay.
I'll just take a little with your permission, Uday.
Oh,
Uh,
please.
so
Wait.
you
Let
see,
me.
this is the blowing hole right here. This is the blowing hole right here. This is hole number one, two, three, so on. So for Hindustani flutes, it is one, two, three closed becomes sa. For Carnatic holes, it is one, two closed becomes sa. Plus the Carnatic flute is an eight holes flute, and if you see the Hindustani is generally a six holes flute. So that makes a tuning difference. It's like it might some notes might sound off pitch in a Carnatic flute for a Hindustani player and vice versa. So
Hmm.
it's about the technique that is being used. The
Hmm.
technique for playing a Carnatic flute is very difficult, but you can play the Carnatic style on the Hindustani flute and the Hindustani style on the Carnatic flute. It's a question of
Hmm.
what you have in your brain. Just to give you
Hmm.
an example, I'll play that
Okay.
little piece from Kantara. So
Oh. Oh.
So this was
Lovely.
Todi Ragam, then it shifts to
Hmm.
Mukhari.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Lovely. Lovely. So you can
you
have that Carnatic feel and
touch. Yeah,
sound. And lovely.
it's about practice. After a certain
Hmm.
time, your music sees no bounds. You like everything is
Hmm.
music. Just get it onto
Hmm.
me.
Hmm. 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 You can, yeah, with any kind of instrument, you can get whatever feel you have. It's like you said, the thought process, what you want to convey. Hmm.
I you can sense something bigger than yourself once you reach a
Hmm.
certain stage.
Hmm. Hmm.
You
Lovely.
wanted to hear that from me, so I'm just saying it. Yeah, that happens. It's overwhelming at times. I can
Yeah.
understand that.
Somebody is repeatedly asking from Bangladesh, what is Murchana Alankar? Nityananda Haldipur sir asks them to practice it.
Oh, Murchana is mama. How to
Advanced stuff, is
explain
it?
it? it's it I even if it's advanced, I must be able to explain it to even to a 3-year-old.
Okay.
It's like shifting your base. So आपका एक घर होगा, आप
Ah,
आप एक घर से
okay.
दूसरे घर में रहते हो तो वो शिफ्ट हो जाता है, तो आपका रहना रहना शिफ्ट हो जाता है. सो इट्स समथिंग लाइक यू आर लिविंग इन मुंबई. मुंबई इज अ वेरी फास्ट पेस सिटी. सो योर the same lifestyle has a different effect when you go to a city like Indore, because it's a slow city. So that's what happens when you shift the base of your notes from one place to another.
Okay.
That's all that
Okay.
happens.
Hmm.
That is what
So it's
murchana
not
is.
something that you can really demonstrate as such with
I
sound.
can, but
Huh.
I don't think people. Okay, I'll
Will
try
will
doing it.
will
I'll try
notice
doing it.
what's happening differently.
Yes,
Basically, you're playing a different scale on the same bansuri. On
yes.
an E scale
Ram
bansuri, you're
Gir says
playing
it's transposing. It's not necessarily
transposing.
transposing. It's
Okay.
not necessarily transposing. It is keeping the
Huh.
base same. So let
Right.
me just give you an example. So so this rag called Bhupali.
Mm-hmm.
Simple. Sa
Hmm.
re ga pa dha sa. It's
Hmm.
a pentatonic scale. Sa re
Hmm.
ga pa dha sa.
Hmm.
Sa da pa ga re sa.
Hmm.
So if my re becomes my sa, re sa. So my scale,
Hmm. You have
right,
to. Huh. Hmm.
with the same notes being the
Hmm.
same. Sa re ga pa dha sa. Sa
Hmm.
da pa ga re sa. This is the
Hmm.
sa. So now
Hmm.
I'm putting off the tanpura so that you can. I don't want to confuse you with the tanpura, because tanpura it'll sound completely off. Now this is your base.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sa re sa.
Mm.
You make re your sa.
This is now, sir. Huh.
It becomes meg. Sa re ma pa ni sa sa ni pa ma re re sa.
Oh, rag. The.
This is your sa.
Yeah. Yeah. Understood.
Bhagyada Lakshmi Baramma
Mm-hmm.
Madhyamavati, which is it's called in Carnatic. So
Mm-hmm.
that becomes with Re. So if
Hmm.
I now I'm coming back to Sa. So the position between the notes is the same, but I'm changing the
Mm-hmm.
bass. So
Hmm.
if since I'm changing the bass, the relative position of the notes changes.
Hmm.
So it becomes different notes with related to a different sa. With ga as sa, it becomes I think it becomes malcounts. This is malcounts or hindolam. Sa ga ma dha ni sa sa ni da ma ga sa da ni sa ga sa. So
Okay.
and then with pa as sa it becomes Durga, and with
Hmm.
dha as sa it becomes Shuddha Danyasi or Dhani. So like if
Okay.
you change the base of every
Okay.
note in the Bhupali, there is a
The
five.
interval remains the same, but the notes keep changing because your base is different.
Yeah, it's kind of
Hmm.
technical if I have to
Hmm.
demonstrate it. It's a
But do
beautiful.
people do that usually for
You will find it a lot while sing. If you want to see vocals, you will find a lot of it in Ustad Ajay Chakra. Sorry, Pandit Ajay Chakraborty's singing. He
Mm-hmm.
uses a lot of murchana, especially in Bhopali. He uses like murchana crazy. Yeah,
Hmm.
in Carnatic, it is the concept is called Griha Bedam. Shruti very
Ah, Graha Bhedam. Hmm.
yeah. Griha Bhedam. Um,
Oh,
um,
it's not Graha Bhedam. It is Griha Bhedam.
Griha
Is it
house
Graha or Griha?
house change.
Okay. Ah, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
In the concept, in you will find it in Sharangdev as well as in the Natya Shastra, is the gram.
Mm-hmm.
Shadjagram,
Mm-hmm.
Madhyagram, Madhyamgram,
Mm-hmm.
Shadjagram, and Panchamgram.
Hmm.
So it
Hmm.
changes.
Right. I've heard about these concepts, but I never understood what they meant. This
This
is
is what
why
it.
theory and practicals are, they need to go hand in hand to see what it
Yes,
really
it's
is.
not a
Hmm.
very easy concept when you are
Hmm.
practicing it.
Hmm.
Like I've tried to explain it. If people understood it, then
I
I'm
think they
very.
have. I think they have. Thank you so much for the confirmation,
I
Ramdheji. It
just hope.
is, yeah, lovely. Thank you so much for the demonstrations. It's 1.5 hours already. Thank you so much for your time. Looking forward to more content and practicing more regularly. Again, there is no set time limit, guys. So if any of you guys are thinking, oh, you are lagging behind, this is where I'm at. Is basically ground zero. Maybe a couple of steps ahead, but still, I'll be there for a long time. So if you want to get your bansuri, watch Vivek's videos, get started. Please do, and we'll describe the 22 shrutis. This is only the first in a very very long series of live
You
streams.
don't need to know the 22 shrutis.
The 22 shrutis, I kind of am curious about them. We will cover them, but in gradually, eventually. Let's start with sa first, and the basic
Is music
alankars and
one of
the.
the 108 ways? Is there a music yoga? If so, what is it called?
Oh, there is a no. Let me take this question, Vivek. Swami Shivananda of Shivananda Ashram, the very popular Swami Shivananda, uh, authored a book called Music as Yoga. I'm going through it right now. I'm reading that book. And 108 ways, there are 112 ways. I think that is what you're talking about of Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. So, yes, music is one of those 112 ways. I mean, in that 112 ways, if we go technically into it, even sneezing is one of the 12 ways. Literally, sneezing. So, he says you can use your sneeze as a process of yoga. So, anything can be a yoga, a path towards it. Your take, Vivek?
It's called Nadopasana.
Nah, yes.
It is
Yes.
upasana of the nada, or it's a tantric form. It's not specifically yoga. Yoga becomes very daivik. What we do is, I mean, what I have seen is Nadopasana. It is a tantric way.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah. Nadopasana, of course, is very a popular term.
it's a popular
Nadopasana.
term, but it is very deep, and people very they they go into the pranava sound and all that, but
Yes.
it's way more pure than that, and it's way very very stringent. And yes, it
It
if you
takes
do it right,
sadhana.
it
Hmm.
gives the results. It does give results. I will not go any further into it.
Sure. Sure. You want to take more comments? There looks
Sure,
like there are
sure.
comments.
Uh, I was confused if four Shrutis lie on Sa, or it's just no. It's not. Four Shrutis are not on Sa. Sa is on one of the Shrutis. So Shruti basically itself is a sound, and it's basically a relative distance from Sa that gets you to a Shruti. And there is this experiment called Chatushti Sarana. By it's described by um,
Bharatan.
Bharata Muni in Natya Shastra, uh, and he explains how the 22 Shrutis are, and what a Pramana Shruti, or the what one Shruti is with respect to Sa. So there are two Veenas that he takes. Veena, it can be done in two basic strings. It's the vibrating length that keeps changing, and you have to, one is a control Veena and the other is the Veena where the changes occur. So basically you have to change it with respect to one Veena continuously, where after doing it for three or four steps, that is where you arrive at the difference between the interference of sound between the two strings is what is one Pramana Shruti. That's how it is. And sound is
In
basically frequency, guys. So
Yeah.
people very, I mean, it's a very abstract concept, because it's nothing but pure vibration. People don't understand what sound is per se.
Yeah.
But and Shrutis is a
It's
very obscure topic. I would recommend not going into it. Just if you're
it is
learning.
very fascinating though.
It's
Like,
very
wouldn't it be
fascinating.
really fascinating to actually see that, do that charan? You said that
I have
Sarana
seen it happen.
Chatushtayi, and see what is it? What is that sound which is being denoted by that name Tivra, and how does it differ from Kumudvati, and when does it actually change
No,
into
it doesn't
Manda?
differ from Kumudwati. It doesn't. It actually doesn't. That's what I'm telling.
Why?
It's one unit. So the difference between two, the distance between the two Shrutis is as a factor is remains the same actually.
There is no discernible difference. You can't hear
You can. It's a
Tivra and
pitch difference,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
But the distance is
yeah.
the same.
Yes, that pitch difference, to notice that, to hear that and see, oh, so this is the sound that is being referred to as Tivra.
I'll tell you that you like unless you have a reference sound, you won't
Fascinating.
even understand the difference. So
Okay, I mean,
if I have so I have a tanpura here right now.
mm,
So I cannot tell you which is Tivra and which is Kumudwati by
true,
playing it. By
true.
playing it. But if I have two strings, it is easier. It's very difficult on the flute. It is very easy on strings. It's easier to do it on the strings.
Okay, this
Let's
is
put it that
probably
way.
where, I mean, we are going further a little more, but this is probably where that visual depiction, that moving wave format that I showed you, maybe that's where it helps, right? So if it rises up along that waveform,
Yes, yes. You
then okay,
that it will be very helpful. Yes.
this is the level at which Tivra is. Slightly fraction of a distance above it is Kumudvati. A little more above it is Manda, and you push it up a little more, you'll get into Rishabh, Komal Rishabh,
Yes.
right? So maybe
There is
yeah,
this
we'll do.
site called 22shruti.com. It is by
Hmm.
Pandit Vidyadhar Okji. He has done a lot
Okay.
of research on that. So you can you know you can do the you can, he has this website with his research and you can see the difference between the two the shrutis in his research.
Is
So
he demonstrating them also?
yes, he is.
Lovely.
Um, I I'll have to check it. So in the next session, I
Huh.
can show that to you. But yes,
Cool.
he had it in his website where you could, play the shrutis and you can check the difference between them. So you can hear the interference and you can realize that there is a dissonance which is created by the two sounds. So the dissonance is the difference between the two shrutis. That's how you
Hmm.
know that it's
Yeah,
not the same.
to understand these, we'll have to go to the real fundamentals of sound, like you were saying that. Okay, guys, now we'll start with an object oscillating. If it starts crossing 20 hertz, you start hearing the sound, and then you know,
Correct.
from that there you have to start. Like, what is the basis of of longitudinal waves and disturbances in a medium?
Yes.
And okay, but thank you so much, guys. Everybody will. Uh, yeah, the names are so fascinating. That is what fascinates me too, because we are here at the Sanskrit channel at the end of the day. So you see
Yes,
like
the names
Kumudvati,
are
and like,
very
oh, now
fascinating.
what does the word Kumudvati mean? Kumuda. Oh, like, we'll go into the whole uh,
I don't know
analysis
why the
there.
names are given that way. There is no reason why I have. Matlab, I have. I at least I don't remember coming across any text because the texts are too vast, and it's in pure
Huh.
Sanskrit, and I haven't learned Sanskrit, so
Let's,
it
but
becomes
I mean, I mean, very clearly Shadja. You know the reason why Shadja is Shadja and
Shadja.
Madhyama
Yes.
is
So
Madhyama.
so
So
no,
in
I
that
don't know the reason
extrapolation,
why Gandhar is Gandhar. I don't know why Rishabh is Rishabh. I don't know
hmm,
why Nishad is Nishad, and I don't know why Dhaivat is Dhaivat. In the sense,
hmm,
the technical meaning. So
hmm,
while Shadja, Madhyam, and Pancham have got technical names,
hmm,
Rishabh, Gandhar, Dhaivat, and Nishad seem to be emotive in nature.
hmm. You mentioned
Y-
this. Hmm.
Yes, I mentioned this. So it's very difficult to know the etymology behind why Rishabh is called Rishabh. What so
Forms a part of Nadopasana. We have ages ahead of us. Like
no, no, no.
we'll contemplate on it, meditate
Yes,
on it,
yes,
try
yes.
to feel that sound,
You
know
can
what
feel
it
it. You
is.
can
Yes,
definitely feel it.
no,
That's
not
what
as a
I'm saying.
physical thing, but the characteristics of the sound, and how, what kind of emotions that that
Yes,
it
yes,
makes
I'm
you
talking
feel.
about the emotions. I'm talking
Ah,
about the essence of it. You can definitely
okay.
feel it. You don't, but
Hmm.
you don't know why they named it Rishabh, and you don't know if the correlation is because the name is being given, or is it because the note is that way.
No, no.
So
I mean, I think the note comes first and the name comes later. That's my opinion of it.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
it seems that way, but then
Yes.
the um,
Let's
ठीक है.
see.
I mean,
Let's there.
yes,
Like
yeah,
it's a
exactly.
long,
I
long
am
road
still
ahead.
learning. I'm
Yes.
still, as I said, I
Huh.
am always a student. I am
Hmm.
always a skeptic. I don't take
Hmm.
things by face value, but it's a beautiful
Yes.
world. I this
Lovely. Yes.
to put it in your words, there is something definitely bigger, and I'm trying to explore it, but I don't take things at face value. I can't stop
Lovely.
and accept.
Yes.
So
On that very curious, open-ended, kind of freeing note,
yes,
if you have more questions, guys, most of them have been answered on the 3 videos that have been posted on Vivek's channel already. Do check them out. And if not, comment on his videos and ask him more of your questions. Let's take more of his time that way. Thank you so much for all your
definitely,
time
sure.
and patience, Vivek. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us and all the new members and the super chats. Thank you so much. I saw there was
Yes,
somebody else
Sheil,
who had
thank
a
you so
super
much
chat.
for the
Shilji, thank you so much.
yeah.
Yes. Namaskaram, everyone. Shubharatri and Shubha Shyamala Navratri. Namo Namaha.
Thank you so much, guys.